Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I have had a very interesting day. I actually got some upgrades for my computer, some stuff I ordered off of Amazon, so I now have 32 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know if it actually shows anywhere in the debug screen, but I now have 32 gigabytes of RAM in my computer and a much larger SSD than I did before. Unfortunately, it took me like all day to install this, so right now at the very beginning of this video, it is already 3:10 in the morning. So I'm hoping I will be able to still get this out to you in time. But if you are seeing this on Thursday and there were no videos on Wednesday, that is what happened. It took way longer to do that stuff than I thought it would, but I suppose it serves me right for tinkering when I have work to do. Anyway, so what I want to do in today's episode is I would like to work a bit more on our sheep farm that we are building. I did grab a couple sheep from over in the woods over there, and I am... Oh, actually, I have a gate over here, don't I? I didn't even need to break that fence. So I'm going to be breeding up some sheep as we go. I don't know if I'll have enough sheep to fill up the sheep farm by the time we're all done here, but we'll at least give it a try. We'll see what we can get done here. So we still have quite a lot that we need to do. We need to get all of the fences in place, obviously, and actually make these into functional pens instead of just open spots. We don't want the sheep wandering around. We need a thing in the middle here, like an actual walkway, because this looks pretty trash, and we need to decorate kind of the ceiling and all this other kind of stuff too, and, you know, make this place look good. So let me get some resources together, and I will be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got some stuff, and I want to start working on kind of this main pathway first. So let's just grab maybe some slabs, and we need to make sure that we don't put a block directly on top of this grass. So we're gonna use slabs, I think, like right along here, because these should not kill the grass underneath. And we're gonna make like a little, I guess you'd call it like a border, like right here. And then, I don't know how I want to do this just yet. I'll figure that out in a minute. But starting here, let's kind of make this, and this is gonna wrap around on top of the grass like so. Okay, now, next thing, let's grab ourselves some spruce, and let's just make some spruce stairs, and then I've got some spruce slabs right here, and I think I want to go like a line of spruce stairs like this, and this will create just a little bit of depth right here, but you won't be able to fall in. So it'll just kind of help a little bit with the general look of the pathway, I think. And we'll do something like that. And then last but not least, maybe we'll grab some slabs and kind of go like so. So we'll have kind of a walkway like this that will go around the whole perimeter of this area. I don't know yet what I'm going to do in this big kind of central area. I have a couple ideas, but haven't really decided on anything yet. The other thing that I want to do is we want to get the fences in place. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that we need to actually get the sheep in here. And ultimately, I do want to have... I don't want to have gates. I want to have basically like whatever color the sheep is, will have carpets on top of the fence, like right here, that you will jump over, because it'll keep the sheep from being able to get out, but it will allow the player to get through. And I think that's going to be very good for us. But we also need to leave a little bit of a gap here so we can actually get the sheep into the sheep pen for, you know, kind of obvious reasons. So let's do something like this, and I think that will work. I don't think I want to have... Hell, maybe we do. I'm trying to think, because the bug where sheep will, like, glitch into things, I think that really only happens on servers, but then again, it might be good to have transparent blocks here, just so the sheep, you know, if I load a chunk and they're right here, they don't suffocate and die, just to be on the safe side. It's not like I'm running low on spruce or anything. I've got enough of the stuff that I should be able to do that without too many problems. So why don't we do this? Let's just make a mess of these fences. And let's go ahead and make sure we get all of the fences in up against the walls there as well. I think that's probably good. And then the pens are all kind of the same consistent size as well, regardless of their, in the middle or up against the walls. So let me get this walkway done, going around the edge. Let me get the fences in place, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I've got the floor in place. I've got all the fences in place, other than the one that I will put down after I actually get a sheep into the pen. And I went ahead and I raised all of these oak pillars up by 1 block up into the ceiling so that we can kind of design these pens. And I think that's a good thing. So let's grab just a shulker box here to put more stuff in, because once again, I am quickly running out of space. And I think we want to go... Do we want to go dark oak or do we want to go spruce? Let's kind of try both here. Let me just make a handful of dark oak. There we go. So let's try let's try this pen first. So we need to be able to jump over the thing, right? So that limits us a little bit in like the amount of space that we can use, because we need this part up here to be at least this high. Otherwise, we won't actually be able to jump over. So why don't we try something real simple like that? Just out of curiosity. Let's try this first. We'll see what we think. It's not bad. I could live with it. Yeah, I could deal. I would be okay with that. Okay. Now, let's try the same thing, but using dark oak instead. The dark oak definitely pops out a bit more. The other thing to keep in mind is that in a lot of cases, we'll have these arches kind of up here on the ceiling as well, because all of these logs are spaced out 5 by 5. We're missing one log like right here that isn't, but we may actually end up putting one there. We'll see. But we could do something like that, and then as you'd walk down the aisle, you'd have these kind of overhead arches as well, which could kind of help a little bit with the look. Another option would be maybe something like this instead. So kind of the same idea, but just a little bit less, a little bit less on the stairs and a little bit more on the slab, so to speak. You know, we could do something kind of like that. That might be okay. I kind of like that. Let's just try that here as well, so we can get kind of a better feel. So how did we do that? We did stair, stair, slab, 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 right? Yeah. Yeah, and that will give us enough room to jump over once we have the carpet here. So I think that might be our design right there. It's very simple, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. One other option I want to try. Let's try this one out as well. Let's go back to stairs here. And then let's just see, what if we brought the fences up to kind of support it? Yeah, not really a fan of that. Okay, so I think we'll go with this design, going kind of all the way down, connecting up all of these beams. Obviously, that's going to take me a little while to get that done, so let me get that done basically everywhere, and then I'll be right back with you. I think I also want to do something very similar like right here, except we'll just kind of go like a regular stair right here instead. And probably here as well, because this is still going to be probably a stone like entranceway or something. Like we'll still have a little bit of a stone wall here is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet. Either way, I've got some work to do as far as getting all this stuff in place, so let me get to it. Okay, guys, I am back. We're breeding the sheep. The sheep breeding is going well. We're building up a supply. I think a couple more breed jobs, and we should actually have enough sheep to put 2 sheep into every pen. And from there, I can just keep breeding them at my convenience. Now, down here, I think I've got it all done. I think it's good to go. Obviously, the gates need to go in place, and the sheep themselves need to end up in here. Just check our, yeah, we do still have enough light there. Good. But I think it's good. I mean, we've got the little overarch. This is really just for decorative purposes. I mean, I don't really want this to be like super complicated. As simple as good, I think, in this case. And I think this will get the job done and I think it's a good blend of form and function. I think it looks good and it is very functional as well, or at least it will be once we actually have sheep in there. Now, this is a little bit of a problem. Oh, yeah, right here. We got one little spot, like right here, where we don't quite have enough light. So I think, I mean, I could just put another post right here and solve it. And that may be what I want to do. I don't know. For now, I'm just going to put a torch there. Long story short, this is all done. I also put some chests over here, some just regular chests and trap chests. Basically to put shears and whatever junk I want in while I'm running around shearing the sheep. So they're really just here to kind of hold extra shears and stuff like that. But what I really need is I need some leads. Moving all these guys via wheat is going to be a nightmare. It'll be a pain because I'm not going to end up getting 2 sheep into a pen. I will end up getting all the sheep in a pen, and it's just going to be a pain. So if I remember correctly, I'm like 95% sure that there's a swamp off in this general direction, like due east of my starting position. Oh, there's some more sheep right there I could have grabbed. Anyway, I'm like 90% sure. Yeah, right here. I was gonna say I think when I went to find that dark oak forest, which is like right over here, I came across a swamp, and yeah, it looks like that's the case. Actually, it looks like I actually have another portal over here. Didn't even realize that. But I think the best way to get slimes at this point, considering I don't have a slime farm in the new world. That was, ironically, one of the last things that I built in the old world at the very end of Season 1 was a slime farm that never really got used. But here, I think in our current situation, the best way for me to get some slime balls to make leads with is probably just to wait for night and just kill a bunch of the slimes that'll spawn in the swamp, because they will spawn. And while I'm at it, I can run around and grab some blue orchids and some lily pads and all that kind of fun stuff. And actually, I can kill some squid too, come to think of it, because I am running a little bit low on ink sacs as well. So actually, this will work nicely. This will be a nice little farming adventure. So I'm going to wait for night. I'm going to kill a bunch of slimes. I'm going to get some leads, try and get the sheep into the pen, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys, I am back, and I think everything is done. I mean, I still need to breed up the sheep that are actually now down in the farm. But there are 2 of every color of sheep and some sheep in kind of the central area. I've got the area all cleaned up, all my stuff put away for the most part. So I think we're basically good to go. And I did also do all the carpets and stuff as well. So let's head down and take a look at it. Essentially, this should be a pretty solid functional sheep farm. I also went ahead and did this little bit. I can't remember if I did this before or after the last little cut, but we do have this proper entrance here now. So here we go. We got our red sheep, orange. It follows basically the spectrum of the rainbow, just to make it easy to find the sheep that we're looking for. Comes all the way around. We have 2 of every sheep. And then in the center area, we have just a whole bunch of sheep, and I'll dye these whatever color of dye I need a lot of. That's kind of my plan there. So this should be good. This should do the trick. I'm just going to have to come down here every now and again to breed up all the sheep, so we have, more than 2 red sheep and more than 2 orange sheep and so on. and that we actually have like a decent amount of every color and everything, but all in all, it's good to go. I even went ahead and took out the extra junk that I put in here so we didn't have junk stuff lying around. Quite proud of myself, to be honest. And I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but it is now 5 in the morning, and I still need to edit and render this video, and this video needs to be out in like 5 hours. So I am going to have to go ahead and call this one here. But before we do that, we are going to jump into the comment of the day. This is from 496 Taurus, who asks, wasn't it supposed to be a small fishing village? Why does it have a huge sheep farm? And to be fair, that is a good question, because this is a small fishing village. When it comes to farms, in my case, I generally don't worry too much about working the farms into the lore a lot. I mean, yeah, like sometimes if it's convenient, you know, I can make it work. But I'm not really super worried about it for farms, like sheep farms and squid farms and, you know, iron farms. Like, how would you work an iron farm into a proper fantasy lore, you know? Once upon a time, there were mages, and they dropped golems from the sky who killed themselves in lava and sacrificed themselves so that the people could... No, like, you know, I'm not really super worried about lore when it comes to farms. But I did go ahead and I put it... That's part of the reason that the farm is underground as well, is, you know... It doesn't necessarily fit with the theme of the village, the fishing village, but ultimately I do need a sheep farm in this world, and I need one very soon. In fact, like right now. And we haven't started any of the kingdoms yet, although that is probably going to be changing very, very soon, because I think Bullstone is basically done at this point. Like it's complete in my opinion. I mean, if season 2 goes anything like season 1 does, we'll probably come back here every now and again to maybe add a little something, or maybe go back and kind of rework something. You know, maybe when 1.14 comes out and we get all those fancy trapdoors and stuff, maybe I'll come back here and make some changes and little things. But I think for the most part, Bullstone is done at this point. I'm happy with it. It looks good. It's a good starter village, but I think I'm pretty ready to move on to some other projects and stuff like that. So in answer to your question, it has a sheep farm because ultimately this is Minecraft survival and I need a sheep farm. So even though it doesn't necessarily fit in the lore, I need a sheep farm, and that's why it's here. So there you go. But guys, that is going to do it for me. I am out of time for this episode. I am I'm at the point right now where I'm practically falling asleep on my keyboard. I still need to edit and render this video, which is going to take another hour and a half or so. And I want to make sure that this video gets out to you in time. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.